Happy Friday, sisters. Welcome back to Come Sis with me, the podcast, a movement fueled by the heart of women with a desire to experience genuine community that uplifts, empowers, and strengthens one another on one common ground, sisterhood. I'm your host, Mia, and today we are talking about obedience. And if you are anything like me, this word makes your heart skip a beat just slightly, right? As a child who grew up craving the attention and reward that comes with following the rules and being a good listener who completes all her work, and just hearing it as an adult who is no longer under the tutelage of a parent or a teacher or just another adult feels like you're out in the middle of a lake without a life raft, out in the middle of the ocean, forget a lake, without a life raft. And I often question, like, how do I make the idea of obedience make sense as an adult if there's no immediate affirmation or reward for it in return, at least for me. So here I am questioning my own obedience and if it's even a palatable statement that I could use to describe myself. And I know that sounds ridiculous to some of you since I'm sitting in front of you after launching a podcast, right? Or some of you may know that I've earned a master's degree in clinical counseling that I've used to successfully counsel multitudes of women and couples through addiction, marriage concerns, divorce, despair, depression, anxiety. I've also onboarded and walked women into dominant roles as ministry and life leaders. I've studied and completed training to become a deliverance minister while also creating and trademarking Come Sis with me. So yeah, I've done a lot. And most of this, if not all of it, was done while living overseas and being a wonderful wife to my amazing husband on a different time zone in a different culture. Yeah. So why is this even a question? Like, why do I question obedience in my life? Well, I don't think obedience is about what you get to accomplish through it. It is the accomplishment. Like, for me, being obedient is the accomplishment. I don't even think about the things that get done afterwards. I'm like, sheesh, I just need to get that done. Right? It's its own reward. It's a blessing to be able to follow God in his loving direction and trust him in a way that I can't trust myself. And it also, I just told my girlfriend this yesterday, that it takes the burden of responsibility off of my shoulders and puts it on to his or whoever I'm being obedient to, right? Or the process that I'm being obedient to. One of the things that trips me up a lot is like losing weight and going to the gym and stuff. Like, if I don't see any results, like I'm being obedient to the diet and the diet is not giving me a response, like there's a problem. I don't, I'm not too happy with that. But I am going to be honest and tell you that that thought process is literally like a week old to me. Today old. The paradigm just changed and set off this proverbial light in my head about, I don't know, 12 days ago or 12 hours ago, probably. Because my way of viewing obedience was through the sabotaged lens of it's a means to gain acceptance, or it's a means to gain some sort of affirmation, or it's a means to gain anything, just to gain, right? And I wonder if that's how you view it too. Do you and do you know why you view it that way? This is probably going to be a little tough for me, but I feel like it's time. It's time. I figured out why. I figured out why in my adult life at least over the last 10 years of my life, or 8 years of my life, that I look at obedience in this sabotage way. And it's because of infertility. Over the past year alone, not even the year, just 2023. Okay. Within 2023, I have watched women close to me and not close to me. I mean, it's just women at this point that are incubating and birthing babies. Some they waited on for years. Some that it was just a complete surprise. Just pop up pregnant. And it's a lot. It's not like one or two. Just between January and February, I had 7 birth announcements, that came to me. And when you're struggling with infertility, you can go into these phases, and I'll talk about it in a second, but I want to just share this. Either way, they were pregnant and preparing to birth something great. Right. And while I'm excited for them and happy for them, like I am genuinely praising God for their legacies that are going to come through them. Right. I'm a complete wreck over my own disappointment of not being able to do the same thing. Why hasn't my obedience led to my baby? Right. And honestly, it's what has slapped slapped me in the face, but shaped my approach to obedience. That I'm not receiving the blessing of the privilege due to my own negligence. Like I'm doing something wrong. I guess I'm not being as obedient as I thought I was being. And y'all, I'm just like, put this in there. I literally counsel women through this exact lie on a daily basis. Okay, I had to come close for this one. But on a daily basis, I literally counsel women through this lie. But it wasn't until this morning that I realized how much this was influencing my own beliefs about myself. It not only makes it hard for me to not see infertility as a punishment at times, but it has influenced how I navigate other babies that God has placed inside of me to birth. So while the definition of infertility in the world is the inability to get pregnant, mine's kind of coupled with the inability to give birth to, because I actually believe the word that God gave me, that I would birth a baby and that I am pregnant with this child. Since it created this crippling within me, since the infertility has created this crippling in me, sometimes I'm discouraged from just starting things because that I have a desire to do. Because I'll hear something, and now, because I've heard something before and yet still have not given something tangible to that word, sometimes hope gets deferred. And I'm not going to lie and say that it somehow skips me, that I'm immune to this. It's really hard to watch so many birthing their babies while you remain pregnant with yours. I wonder if I put this scenario out to my girlfriend who just gave birth. Her baby is all of like 2 months old. So adorable. And I was like, imagine if you never gave birth at the end of your pregnancy. What that would feel like, how uncomfortable, how painful, how disappointed you would be. So it's really hard to watch so many doing the thing that God told you would do. God gave me a word and visions on so many occasions about my baby. I've had dreams that I've shared and written down about what me and Scooty's son would look like. Right. I believe in it so much that I've taken pregnancy tests on days that I know in a woman's cycle is just scientifically impossible. But still, here I am. Right. Because I believe my faith is so high that what God tells me I believe. And I'm reminded today that it's okay to tell yourself that this is a lot, right? That something is a lot. That even if you're not waiting on a baby, but you're waiting to birth something else, a business, go start school or finish school, right? Whatever it is that you're doing in this moment, maybe it is waiting on a spouse, maybe it is waiting on your child to recover, maybe it is waiting on a family member to return, and some ours are a marriage to be reconciled. Whatever it is that you're waiting on, that obedience can help you in that process. But it's okay to say that this is a lot, that you're tired of waiting, that you're upset, that you're sad, that you're not okay. But what's not okay is to stay there. It's not okay to stay in that place that distorts how you see the truth. Think about the tears in your eyes and how hard it is to see clearly through them. But it's still okay to cry. It's still okay to say, I can't see right now what's happening through the pain and the disappointment. But I'm not going to stay in this place. I'm not going to stay in this place. I was listening to my man, Manny Arango. I don't know Arango. If you guys haven't heard of him, I really love his teaching. I'm a nerd and I love that he teaches like a nerd, and I get down with that. But he did an amazing job preaching on, it wasn't even on the topic of obedience, but I mean it could have been. And it talked about the calm and the storm. And one of the things that he said that I really remember vividly and like really took to heart was that, um, some of us really want the miracle, but we don't want the transformation that needs to take place in order for us to sustain the miracle once we get it. And that's hard. Get this. It's hard to think about me needing to transform any more than I think infertility has already transformed me, right? But that's pride. And I know that um babies are a lot, right? So I'm asking God for something that's really big and really life changing. And I do want to be in a place where I will be able to sustain it once it comes, right? Truly, the only job of a parent is making sure your kid is alive at the end of the day, right? So, you want to be in a position to do that and sustain what, be the piece of the puzzle that you need to be in order for it to come together and make an amazing form of art. But obedience is a lot. It's an honor. It takes commitment, but it's also an opportunity to come to the end of yourself and to rely on God for everything else. I think that's the hardest part for some of us who like to hear job well done on this side of eternity. But maybe reminding yourself, or at least for me, reminding myself that even the act of obedience is your reward. Reminding yourself that even the act of obedience is your reward, that can help soothe those places of trouble, those places where hope is a little bit deferred, right? The places that you are in where you're waiting on an answer, you're waiting on a miracle, you're waiting on something to move. Maybe obedience is the answer for you. This is going to be the first kind of intro to Mia and in her infertility journey. Just so you know, there'll probably be a lot of tears that come as a result of these phases that we start to talk about and get into. But I know this is important. I know that you need to hear me and see me. I know that you need to have someone who is willing to get in the hole with you and show you that it is still possible to live life through the hard things, that you're not alone, that I can't just tell you how to do it. I got to show you. I got to show you how to take something so that you're so deeply passionate about and move it from an idea and a thought to execution. At least that's my goal. That's my goal. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I thank you for being with me this Friday again, for showing up for me, because I pray that I will be able to continue to show up for you. I started this and I want to finish it well. So here we are. That's it for this Friday. I'll see you next Friday, same time, same place, prayerfully, right? And if you don't already know, sis, you got this. Love you.